Hey kiddos, let's work on this worksheet and see if we can figure out if these different pictures are elements, compounds, or mixtures. Before we start looking at the individual pictures, let's just remind ourselves what these are going to look like. If I am seeing a picture of an element, it's all going to be one color and shape. Now remember, an element can sometimes be a diatomic element, like nitrogen, where it is two of the same atoms stuck together, but they're still going to be one color and one shape. So if I look through my pictures here, I'm looking for boxes where I have just one color or one shape, like number 5 here. These are all black circles, they're all the same, so that is an element. If I keep looking, number 6 is all white circles. Whoops. Now, they are stuck together. That just means that it's a diatomic element, like nitrogen or fluorine, but it is still all one color and all one shape, so those are all elements. All right, let's go back up and look at our next option, a compound. If I'm looking at a compound, it has 2 or more colors or shapes, but they are touching, and the fact that they're touching means that they're bonded together chemically. So I'm looking for 2 or more colors that are touching. It's also going to be the same pattern or the same ratio all throughout it. So I'm looking for 2 or more colors or shapes that are touching where all of the pieces in the box are the same. So if I look here at number 1, I have 1 black and 2 clear, white. If I look at all my shapes, they are all 1 black and 2 white. They're all the same pattern or same ratio. And there are 2 or more colors and they are touching. So that means that this one is a compound. If I keep looking through here, I see a similar pattern with number 6. For number 6, my pattern or my compound is 2 white and 4 black. And if I look at my box, all of these are 2 white and 4 black pieces. So they are all in the same ratio or the same pattern because they are all touching and there are 2 or more colors. That again is a compound. If I keep looking, I see some that have compounds, but they're not all the same, so those aren't going to count for now. But here, this time, I have 4 white and 2 black, and if I double check my box, 4 white, 2 black, they are all the same again, and so those are also a compound. Oh, this one almost tricked me. If I'm looking at number 12, I see 1 white and 2 black here, but 1 black and 2 white. I thought at first when I looked at them they were the same, but they're not. We'll come back to that one later. And the same with 13. They look the same when you look at it quickly, but they're not. And I don't think that I see any other ones right now where everything else in the box is all the same. So if the things in the box are not all the same, that means that I have a mixture of some sort. I either have a mixture of elements, a mixture of compounds, or a mixture of both. So a mixture of elements, a mixture of elements is going to have 2 or more colors or shapes, but they are not touching. So let's see. For number 2, I have white circles and black circles all by themselves, so those are elements. But I have more than one element in here, so this is a mixture of elements. If I keep looking, I'm looking if I have anything else where there are not pieces touching each other. And I think that that's the only one. So that's my only C, my mixture of elements. For my mixture of compounds, I'm looking for 2 or more patterns where they are bonded or touching. So if I look, this one, they're bonded, but those are the same. So that's not quite a compound. We're going to come back to that later. Down here, I have these little 3 pieces. And I also have these little 4 pieces. So I have 2 different types of compounds in this one. So that is going to be a mixture of compounds. If I keep looking through this, if I'm looking at number 8, I see that I have some compounds, but I have some elements by themselves. So let's not come back to that one yet. Here, if I look at this, I have 1 white, 2 black. And I also have 1 black, 2 white. So I have a bunch of different compounds in here. So that again is a mixture of compounds. Down here I have 4 black, 2 white. And I have 4 white and 2 black. So this is also a mixture of compounds. And hey, look, here I have 4 black and 2 white. I have 2 black and 4 white. I have 1 black and 2 white. And I have 1 white and 2 black. This one has 4 different compounds in it, but they are all still in one box as a mixture of compounds. Over here I have 1 black and 2 white. I also have 4 black and 2 white. And so those are all compounds. And again, I have a mixture of compounds. All right, let's go back up and see what our next choice is. So now we can have a mixture of elements or compounds. So that means that it's going to be, the elements are going to either all be 1 color and shape, either 1 or 2 pieces together. And my elements are going to be 2 or more bonded. So hopefully that's everything that I have left, but we'll go through and we'll double check. So here for number 3, I have these compounds here, and I also have these little pairs of elements. So this is a mixture of elements and compounds. For number 8, I have some single elements here. I have some other single elements here. And I have some compounds. So this one is still E, a mixture of elements and compounds. Over here for number 9, I have some single elements. Oh, but if I look closely at this one, these pairs are all the same color and shape. Those are elements also. They are diatomic elements, which means I made a mistake. We missed this one before. This is a mixture of elements. And if we look up top, that was C. All right, number 10 is our last one. Let's just double check this. I have 2 pairs that are the same, so those are elements. And I have these little triplets that have 2 different elements in them, so those are compounds. So this is a mixture of elements and compounds. All right, there we go. I hope that helped to make